Primeau fan.
Thank you for having me.
Your fans are like...
What an honor to be here, Pete. You're a legend. You're a rock star.
I'm a legend in my own mind, said my wife.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I'm Mr. Selling from the Heart. What's this guy, Larry Levine, going to teach me about selling from the heart?
You are one of the most generous and authentic people around. And I think that's why you and your show are so attractive to people.
Welcome to the Pete Primeau Show. It is episode 183, and I am so excited because I get to sit back and do nothing today. And my producer, the great one, also known as Chris Stone, will do all the work, and I get to take the day off. So I cannot wait for this episode of Ask Pete. Let's pay the bills really quickly. If you haven't bought my book, Sell a Million, what are you waiting for? You think traffic's going to pick up magically without doing anything on your part? Grab this book right now. More relevant than ever than the day that I wrote it. More important than the day I wrote it. So grab that book on Amazon. I think it's like $14.99. Guys, it's stupid. If you want a sales book, that one sounds like a sales book, but this is the sales book right here. Miles and miles of retail selling greatness. I am so proud of this book, and I'm going to tell you why I'm proud of the book. I'm proud of the book because it's not just my book. It's our book. And not only did I write it, my 43 years of experience and over 2 million miles of road traveled by car, that excludes my airfare, my airline miles. But I had some great people in our industry. See if you recognize any of the names. Steve Carnes, he wrote on selling systems. Mark Klingenberg, Jeff Janakovo wrote on selling systems. Chris Tahaney, there's nobody better in this industry than Chris Tahaney when it comes to sleep essentials. 2 chapters on sleep essentials. Mel Opp, selling systems. Justin Trumbo, the birth of technology selling. If you ever wanted to know the nitty gritty and how it was developed, grab this book and read Justin Trumbo's chapter. He did a great job. Randy Thompson, the adjustable bed guru, on page 120, there is a gift that's 100% free for you from Randy that will literally make you thousands of dollars if you don't listen to what he says, and hundreds of thousands of dollars if you implement everything he says. Brent Batterman. Brent knocked this thing out of the park. He talked about maximizing the customer's experience. He also wrote a second chapter on the selling process. Keith Cassinguy, selling systems and more. And Scott Vaughn, what a treat. Scott Vaughn wrote us a chapter right out of his great masterclass seminar about mindset. There's nobody better in the industry about mindset for our industry than Scott Vaughn. So without a further ado, let me continue to pay the bills. Steve and Greg, thank you for sponsoring the show. If you want to learn how to build, market, sell, and succeed in the mattress industry today, join this free Facebook group, over 3,300 strong. Guys, gals, you don't have to be in this business all by yourself. You really need to join this group. It's 100% free. You will learn how to build, sell, market. You're going to network with everybody in the industry. Guys, gals, everybody's in here. You've got owners of manufacturing companies. You got VPs of manufacturing companies. You have fellow store owners in every state of the union and then some. You've got sales pros that work the retail floor. You have sales reps. You do not need to be in this business alone. Join the group. It's free. And I get in there a couple times a month, a week, and I try to participate as much as I can. So if there's anything I can ever do to help you, you can call me at 419-560-3169. That's it. Chris, I think oh no, that's not it. This is a project that is near and dear to my heart that Chris Tahaney is just doing a great job of writing this book. These are your stories. We want to know your retail success stories where a customer's life was changed for the better. So get those stories emailed over to our friend, Chris Tahaney at Mattress RSA Stories. It's all one, no spaces, at gmail.com. Mattress RSA Stories at gmail.com. Does not have to be perfectly written. Chris is a great writer, and he will write it up for you. He'll send it back to you for your approval. And if your story is chosen, it will be featured in this book. We're trying to elevate the industry with this book. It's going to be consumer facing, and it's also going to be industry facing. So let's hear about those success stories, how we change people's lives in the mattress business. And never forget what Scott Vaughn said. You are the most important healthcare provider in your town. We really do change people's lives. So get behind this project, send those stories over to Chris. And I think we have one more, my friend. Last but certainly not least, I belong to this group. Mattress Retailer Toolkit is a great group. Everybody should belong to it. I think it's under $100 a month, and you get so much. Who is MRT perfect for? If you just have one store, it's perfect for you. If you have more than one store, it's perfect for you. If you own a furniture store, but you want to get serious about mattresses, join this group. If you're an industry influencer, we want you here. Industry leaders, we want you here. Factory reps like me, I'm here. I'm trying to get educated by Mike Capuzzi and Jeff Giannakovo. There's so much here. There's trainings every month. There's live calls every month. There's so much here. If Jeff and Mike were to charge $9.99 a month, it would be well worth it. So guys, for under $100 a month, hit that QR code and join MRT. You'll see me in there. I don't get in there as much as I'd like, but let me tell you, what a great resource and inexpensive resource for everybody in the mattress industry. And let me tell you something, it's literally a who's who of who's in there. So you're going to be in good company. So hit that QR code and join us. Chris, take over. I'm going to sit on my hands.
Take over. Ha ha. Now it's mine and the show is mine. No, I tell you what, speaking of legends, they're already here in the chat, Pete. And these two know exactly what to do on an Ask Pete. And that is to participate. This is for you all who are watching and listening today. Ask Pete is all about the questions that you have related to the mattress industry. And Pete's here to, man, you could just crack open that brain of his and just get all that goodness. But the legends are here. RJ is chiming in from Jacksonville, Bedding, Mattresses, and More in Jacksonville, Florida. Always excited for a live Pete Primeau Q&A. Thanks for being you, Pete. There, you're making him cry. Thank you for being
you, RJ. You are awesome.
And look at this guy. Here's another legend that's in the house. Thanks for the shout out, Pete Primeau, from the one, the only, and you pronounce it Giannakovo, everyone. Please just write it down, write down the pronunciation. That's all you need to know. Jeff Giannakovo from Gardner's Mattress and More in Lancaster, Pennsylvania is in the house and at the helm of the Mattress Retailer Toolkit. So, Pete, Listen, we got to get to the questions. We
have to.
We have to. But
I mean, we wanted to get to these on the last, the show before last, and we just, it was so good what was going on between, RJ and Scott Vaughn and Gordon Heck that I know. Janakovo. I've got it. Why can't you get it, people? Get it right. Janakovo.
All the legends are here, Pete. Kristen Sugar's in the house. I
Hey,
joined to hear
Kristen.
the legendary knowledge of Pete Primeau. What about me, Kristen? Come on.
No, Kristen joined to help impart some real knowledge on us.
Yeah.
She is absolutely fantastic, has great ideas, and has a lot of experience and knowledge in our business. So,
Yeah.
Kristen, I am absolutely flattered that you're here. Thank you.
Yeah, I got to meet her when I was down in Jacksonville for the grand opening of the second store for RJ and Tara at Jacksonville Mattresses and More, and got to see her do some live sales training with the staff there. So that, I mean,
She's very good.
You want to, walks the talk right there is Kristen Sugar.
She's very good.
Yeah, and so, everyone's chiming in with the pronunciation of Jeff's last name, which is hilarious. And then we've got ADHD Alabama looking forward to the show. That's Nicholas Dover.
Try to focus, Nicholas. Thank you. Kristen, more. Keep it coming.
So the rules are this: we have some questions that were emailed in to Pete, and we'll start diving into those. But folks, as you're enjoying this show, come up with your own questions that you might have for Pete. Your questions take precedent before we even get to these. That's why we probably don't get to all of them, but we do our best to do that. And Becky Woolman is here. Brad and Becky, always looking forward to watching the Pete Primeau Show. Everybody's loving the show today, Pete. We've got Gordon Heck, all of the legends. This chat is legendary today. Happy summer and Father's Day. Gordon, same to you. Looking forward to the wisdom. Boy, the pressure's on, Pete. Look out.
It's a lot of pressure from Gordon.
Right. Exactly. All right, let's dive into it. Let's do this. This is from now we have the question. This is from Frustrated in Florida. And Frustrated in Florida says, Pete, I'm so frustrated when I see people posting numbers in our industry groups on Facebook. I have a hard time believing them. Some of these numbers for a single holiday are more than I do in a year. Do you believe these numbers? I know I can do better, and I want to improve my store's performance. Where do I start? Frustrated in Florida.
Wow, there's a lot there. Okay. So I'm going to go through the first two very quickly because the last one I could do a whole show on, and we got to get through our questions
Right.
once and for all. Frustrated in Florida. So just a little inside baseball, Chris. This is a compilation of about 5 different guys and gals. Very frustrated, a lot of frustration out there. It is hard to believe these numbers. I'm going to tell you right now that if you were to sit down and have a really serious talk with Jeff Janakovo, who's an open book, Jeff would tell you that he couldn't fathom doing the numbers that he's doing today. He probably wouldn't have believed it himself, wow. 15 years ago. If you sit down and you talk to Scott Vaughn, who's absolutely the salt of the earth, Scott would tell you there is no way he could have ever dreamed to be doing the numbers that the store does today under the leadership of his son, Jordan, who bought the store from Scott and Wanda. So they didn't believe those numbers either. I have not seen any numbers that I have called phooey on in the Mattress Industry Network group. But I will also say this to you. I don't always get a chance to get in there. I'm a full-time rep with, 5 different lines and 5 different full-time jobs. So I don't always get in Mattress Industry Network group. There could have been some numbers that were posted that I would call BS on. All the ones that I've seen, I know the guys and the gals that are posting those numbers, and they're on the money. So I know that it's hard to believe that some of these numbers when maybe you're just getting started, or maybe you're not having the kind of success that you want to have and that you will have. So I really want to focus on this next question. Where do I start? Chris, if you could cue up my framework, I think that's super important.
Yeah.
You have to start at the beginning. And that's not what we do. We don't start at the beginning in our business. We are an industry full of guys and gals that love shiny new objects. If I just get blah, blah, blah line, it will magically make customers come screaming through my door and I'm going to be in heaven. And it rarely works that way. I have great lines, and sometimes they're the right thing for a retailer, and sometimes they're not the right thing for a retailer. But where I want all of my retailers that I deeply care about to start with, I want you to start off with advertising, because it doesn't matter how great your display is, doesn't matter how great your merchandising is, how great your salespeople are, or your delivery team, or your service people. If no one comes through the door, guess what? Nothing else matters.
Yeah.
So I would start with advertising, and very specifically, who is my customer? And I can hear people throwing popcorn from here going, I don't know who my customer is. All right. The next 10 sales you make, ask them one question before they leave. How did you hear about us? And why did you buy from us? Ask them that. Make sure the transaction's done. I've never had anyone cancel a sale because of being asked these questions. Start asking your customers, and you're going to start to see some patterns very quickly about who your customer is. Don't tell me your customer's everybody. Your customer profile cannot be everybody, because you will go broke trying to advertise to everybody. And the better the retailer is, the more specific they will be. They will tell you, my customer is a female and she's 35 to 54. Or my customer is a female and she's 25 to 45 years old. Very specific. And I'm not trying to be funny, and I'm not trying to be a wise guy, but I said she purposely twice. It's not a guy. Pete, I get guys in here. You do get guys, but understand, behind every guy is a gal that's going to help make that decision, whether it's a girlfriend,
yes,
a wife, a mother, or a significant female in his world. She's going to go ahead and she's going to impart some knowledge on him. So we're always selling a female. Understand that and get that. Steve Houck, thank you for saying good morning to me. Good morning, Steve. I'm glad you're here. So start off with your advertising, define who your customer is. And when it comes to advertising and marketing, it really should be marketing. Marketing includes advertising and all outreach.
Social media.
Yep. All of that is part of that. But there's three things. There's a three-legged stool. Hasn't changed in 100 years, and it's not going to change. Media, message, market. In that question that I asked you is market. Who is your market? Who are you selling to? Because your media choices and your messaging choices are going to be dictated by the market that you're going after. If you want a good place to start, didn't think about even doing this, but this is a really good place to start. Also, Mark Kinsley and my friend Mark Quinn wrote a great book called Back to Bed. It's a great little marketing book for the mattress industry. Those are two books that I would highly recommend to you to get started. Frustrated in Florida if you have more questions and I didn't go deep enough, call me at 419-560-3169. Does not matter if you're a customer of mine or not a customer of mine. I'm here to help everybody that I possibly can in this industry. But start with advertising, marketing, and then advertising. So, Chris, what do you interview a lot of really smart people. As a matter of fact, most of the people that you do podcasts with are way smarter than I'll ever be.
Oh, come on, Pete. No.
What are your insights into that question?
Well, I think a lot of times people, when they look at their social media, the reason why I asked you about social media, and when you talk about advertising itself, in and of itself, is not free, right? And so you have to be smart about it, but you also have to invest in that advertising. And if you think you can just sort of sit back and create viral TikTok videos and I say the word viral, and to have that last, social media is an important component of all of this, but you have to invest in worthwhile marketing and advertising, which means you're going to have to carve out X percentage out of funding in order to do that, and do it smart. Don't just light your money on fire by boosting Facebook posts. And there's all kinds of free YouTube videos you could watch about targeting and all of those things, about doing advertising the right way. And give it a good sample. I think that's the other thing that I've found out is like, okay, I'm gonna spend a whole bunch of money for 60 days, and then that didn't work. So I'm not doing TikTok anymore. I'm not doing Facebook anymore. I'm not doing. It's like you have to be very tactical and very smart about what you do, and give it a good sample size in order for you to sort of build that awareness. That's going to build that likability, and that's going to build the trust and have people come through your door. I don't know.
No, I agree with everything you said. That's why I suggest you start with the target market, because that will dictate the message, that will dictate the media.
Yes.
Just a plug for next week. Guys and gals, you guys love the Allie Thompson, who's a great marketer and especially a great Facebook marketer. You guys asked her to come back for a second show. That will be next Monday. So don't miss Allie Thompson next week. 100% free. And you're going to get a masterclass in Facebook advertising and have your questions ready for her. She surprised us, Chris, with a few of the recommendations that she made, things that we're doing that we shouldn't be doing, and a few things that we're not doing that we definitely should be doing. She threw me for a loop a couple times in that show.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right. So let's get to question number 2.
Sure.
Unless we want to address that whole, like, the phooey factor in the last question. I mean, I think, whether or not you trust the numbers somebody's posting. Okay, I will say this. This just reminds me. One thing I do want to say regarding that, and because, even though I'm not seeing that in the mattress industry stuff because I'm not really following it, I do see a number of posts where people
it's everywhere.
Will say, here are my numbers. Here's how many subscribers are getting. Here's my revenue being an Amazon influencer. Here's as a creator, I'm making X amount of money. You don't really know if they're telling the truth, and their screenshots could be done in AI. You don't really know. I would say be careful in letting that frustrate you and keep you from striving to do your best. And if you look at that and you go, God, I'll never make that much money in a month. That's just going that sort of negative self-talk is going to keep you from being inspired to do your best and to have your location, your business, your store, whatever you're doing. So don't look at it as inspiration, and look to try to get inspiration from that, as opposed to making it into something that's going to make you frustrated, like, I'll never be able to hit those numbers.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I'm glad you're taking a few minutes to kind of jump into that a little bit more. our initial reaction sometimes is phooey, right?
Yeah.
When I started powerlifting, I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would bench press 705 in a competition. I just wanted to get back up to 400, like where I was in college. And then when I got past that and I hit 500 for the first time, I thought, man, that's crazy.
Mm.
And then I realized that there was more I could do. There was, and what happens, and it doesn't matter if it's your business or it's powerlifting, life in general, when you get up to a certain level, you can see more than you could see before.
Mm.
And you can see those areas of improvement more clearly than you could before. So absolutely take heed of Chris's words. They're very wise. Don't let, someone else's wild success, which might have taken them 20 years to get there,
Right. Yeah.
depress you. It should inspire you. You should say, my Lord, if Scott Vaughn can do those numbers in Paducah, Kentucky and Benton, Kentucky, I can do it too.
Yeah. Just like the intro video. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
And he meant that when he said that. I mean, he means everything that he says. I mean, you're never gonna meet a more honest human being, period.
Right.
So I loved your last question, frustrated in Florida. You said, where do I start? And that is incredibly important. And it's incredibly humbling to ask a question. And, we have to be willing to be educated. I've been at this for 44 years. I started it in January of 1982. Okay. I learn something new every day. And sometimes I'm learning something new from somebody who's a rookie who's only been in this business for 20 or 30 years.
There it is. Yeah. You can learn from anybody. Speaking of learning from anybody, Pete, and I forgot about this, and I'm glad, RJ, you reminded me of this. RJ did a post, I believe it was on his Facebook a while back. And I think a lot of the social media, everybody's posting all these great things. Here's a great picture on Instagram. All these things are very, very clickable, right? But here's RJ saying, I made a post about this a while back in the Mattress Industry network group. Yeah. People love to post their successes, myself included, but rarely do they post the days, weeks, and months where things don't go as well. And so you're seeing all the shiny, happy moments, right? But you're not seeing sometimes the struggles, and those aren't as clickable, right? Those aren't as But I mean, and RJ, that was a great post by you, and it certainly is something to keep in mind when you see numbers and you see these great things. A lot of this stuff ebbs and flows, right? And you got to stay on track and stay motivated and keep rocking. Right?
Kristen Sugar says exactly 100%. RJ, thank you for posting that to give some people some hope. But you recently, you were very humble and you were talking about your frustrations and how you pulled it out at the very last day of the sale. So I think it's super important that we just be good humans and we tell the truth always.
Yes.
And sometimes the things that people need to hear the most are the things that we don't really want people to know, right? We don't want people to know when we fail. We don't want people to know. I remember there was a holiday not too long ago. I forget which one it was. And RJ, you took all the blame. I wasn't there. I decided I would take it off. I'll never do that again. The leader has to be there on certain holidays. And I know. But Pete, you always tell us we should have a business that runs itself and we don't have to be there. I know that is the end goal, but till we get all the way there, we got to be there. So Chris, thanks for jumping into that.
Yeah,
that was
of course.
Very good.
Since nobody's got the guts to ask a question in the chat, we're going to roll to question number 2. This is from Not Backsliding in Pennsylvania. Hi, Pete. This past Memorial Day was a tough grind, but we made our numbers. I own a few furniture stores in Pennsylvania and thought something was off. As I dove into my numbers, my mattress sales were off significantly. I'm consistently around 16% of my furniture sales volume. With my mattress sales volume, I am consistently around 16% of my furniture sales volume with my mattress sales volume. Okay. My goal is to push that to 20%. We only did 12% over Memorial Day weekend. Needless to say, I went backwards. If you were me, what would you do? From Not Backsliding in Pennsylvania.
Well, I love this question, not backsliding in PA. I'm just going to call you PA because it's shorter.
There you go.
So I'm going to say this. I don't want to completely let you off the hook, but I do have to let you know that furniture stores had a tougher time, and I don't know why. On Memorial Day, furniture stores had a tougher time making their numbers with their mattress sales. My gut feeling is that a lot of bigger mattress chains really went after the business. I also have a sneaking suspicion that some of the legacy brands and also some of the D2C brands were pushing more to their website than out to the retailers. So first thing I would say is like, congratulations, PA, because 16% of your overall volume in mattress sales for a furniture store is on the verge of elite. We hear these numbers, 20%. Like 20% is a achievable number for a furniture store in mattress sales. Well, for years and years, and Kristen, you can back me up on this, that number was 10%. And 10% is good for a furniture store in their mattress business. 20% is fantastic. It's a great reach goal. And there are some elite furniture retailers who are super good at mattresses that get up to 30% and even a few plus 30. Very unusual. So congratulations on getting it up to 16%. That is nothing to sneeze at. The fact that you backslid 4 points doesn't concern me. If you wrote me a check for $20,000 and you told me to come into your store, this is what I would do. Chris, go ahead and pull that, my framework up. The very first thing that I would do is I would have this in front of me. And the one thing that I would be looking at are points of consistency. Points of consistency. So I would look at your social media ads, and then I would compare that to when I pull into your parking lot. Does it look the same? I would go to your website, and I would compare that when I pull into the parking lot, into the store. Does it look the same? Now, I'm going to open the door to the front of the store. Does it look the same as the social media posts? Does it look the same as the website? Is there consistency? If you're using really great glamour shots from manufacturers and your store doesn't look anything like you're portraying it, that's a disconnect. Yeah. That hurts you. Yeah. Okay. So that's your connection between your advertising and your display. Merchandising for mattresses is easy. And I know Janakovo is going to go crazy when I say this, because he always does, because it's overly simple, just like yours truly. If I could put duct tape on my salesperson's mouth and I could put blinders on their eyes, would they give me the money difference that I'm asking for the mattresses based on feel? It's a tough bar. Almost impossible. But I want you to use that as a measuring stick and something to aspire to. You can't make your merchandising too simple. So merchandising should not be left to trying to do the equivalent of flea flickers and double reverses and having a salesperson utter all kinds of things at a customer who doesn't understand any of it because she hasn't been in the business of buying a mattress for the last 10 to 20 years.
Yeah.
So think about your merchandising, sales education. Now, this is a real sticky point with me because my goal in 1982, when I saw how bad it was by the time that I leave this business, I'm going to put my mark on this business. I'm going to make sure that every salesperson is trained better than I was trained. And I'm going to make sure that everybody is given a better customer experience than what the first few stores that I worked at in retail. It wasn't the greatest customer experience in the world. And, what can we do? Right. And I have to say this today, if you want to get really serious about it, at most stores, the experience is as bad today as it was 44 years ago, if not worse. Now, in some stores, like Jeff Janakovo's store, like RJ's store, like Happy Z's in Paducah, Kentucky, and Benton, Kentucky, those are extraordinary experiences. But they are few and far between. So this is what I'm going to say to you when it comes to sales training and customer experience. You need to treat your salespeople the way you want them to treat your customers. If you want to treat your customers like gold, you have to treat your salespeople like gold. You have to train them. You cannot have false expectations. You can't expect them to come to you fully trained in your ways, in your methodology. You cannot assume anything. You need to do relentless training. And a great place to start, sorry, it's like I'm plugging my books today. Miles and Miles of Retail Selling Greatness. Another great place to start is join MRT. For $100 a month, you're going to get such a great start. It is absolutely ridiculous. Hey, hello, Hunter.
Hey, we got a special
you,
guest.
baby?
I think the other thing too, and I know we're talking about gardeners, quite a bit here, but they do have, another great example is that they had, their sales specialist become certified sleep, certified sleep specialists. I mean, this is just not a, online course you take in 45 minutes and they send you a JPEG on email. This was like a whole different thing. And they actually did a couple of shows with Drew and who was on their staff, and he talked about just everything he learned through that he can apply to how he sells on the floor and his mindset through it all. And I just think that type of investment for a store in terms of sales education is just, I mean, it's amazing. That the knowledge that you can bring to that. And I think to your point too, when somebody walks in a store, Pete, and you start talking about flea flickers and double reverses, right? You got to be able to talk the language and not like make people feel like they're idiots, right? You have to let's have a conversation, and not trying to insult anyone's intelligence, but if you're starting to talk about acronyms that are industry specific and all of that kind of stuff, people are just going to tune you right out and not feel comfortable buying anything from you, right?
Yeah. One of the things that I learned, relearned, and Jeff Janakovo is the biggest proponent of this, is your language needs to be precise. Just reversing the order of words can change their meaning. Yeah. You really need to have precise language in that you're asking the best questions at the best time. and you're listening and you're reacting and you're going forward. I'll tell you, that crew at Gardner's is special. Just like that crew at Happy Z's is special. Um, Really fun to watch them work with customers.
Yeah.
And the best thing, that all starts with a certain mindset, right? But so go back down. That picture is worth a lot. So this is what that picture says, by the way. If you don't have a picture like this of your store with your people, what this is saying is you are part of our family. You are important to us, and we want you on our website, and we want you in our social media, and we want to help make you the star that you were born to be. And I love what Jeff and Ben have done with this website, and how they put their, and that is a true superstar right there, Drew. He is special, as is Chad and Phil. They're very, very good, but Drew is elite.
And what's crazy too, Pete, is their 5-star online reviews that they get mention these people by name. They'll just come out and say, I spoke to Drew today, and he walked me through how to do that. Like, you could, like, that's a review that someone took the time to go to their Google and type it in and say, I worked with Drew, or I worked with Phil, or they will name those people in those reviews. And so you almost need to, if you're that good, like, you should aspire to have a sales team that people mention in reviews like that. Gordon is chiming in here, Pete. Don't measure your success in percent. So we're kind of going back to the original question here that PA is talking about the percentages here. Gordon says, don't measure your success in percent, measure it in dollars. Set a dollar goal for each category and work to exceed it. What are your thoughts there?
Great recommendation, Gordon. Gordon had a lot of great jobs in the industry before he, quote, retired. But he wasn't retired for very long because Brand Source saw his talent and won't let him retire. Gordon is one of these elite guys who has been in the industry for a very long time, but is a student of the game. His eyes are always open every time he goes into a store. He's looking to see something. And so I agree with Gordon on that.
Well, and you know what else, Pete? He has an elite mustache now. I mean, that
he has an unbelievable mustache, and I'm really trying to fight not saying something before I get myself in trouble.
Oh, okay. All right. So before we do that, we do have a comment here. RJ's, he's chiming in from all over the place. We have him on YouTube. We have him on Facebook. Thank you for contributing to the algorithm, RJ. Vernon Williams, we know him as Rocky Jr., says, I was asked this question today, Pete, and wanted your take. What's the best way to approach selling bedding essentials, top of bed, in store? Not in theory, but real world application.
So I was just, RJ, I'm going to let you in on a conversation I just had with Chalin, the president of DreamFit. So it is now the battle for the bundle. The best dealers with the highest attachment rates on sleep essentials. There's two things that they do that are super important. And if you're talking about just top of bed, the second thing doesn't matter as much. So if we're talking about just top of bed, I would say having 3 levels of bundles is super important. The other thing is every bed should be on an adjustable bed. Every mattress in the store that is available and works with an adjustable bed should be shown under an adjustable bed, so that the adjustable bed is shown first and someone is pillow fitted um, for two reasons. Number one, guarantees you the pillow sale if you don't make the mattress sale. But more importantly, it's a shame and a sin for a customer to end up buying a mattress because of the pillow that was on the mattress. It should be the same pillow across all mattress selections so that the pillow is not the thing that sways the sale. It's actually the support and the comfort that the bed offers to the customer, the pillow being consistent. So because they choose the pillow first. So number one, I would say pillow fit. And number two, I would have bundles. So here's the conversation with Challen. We have to win the battle of the bundle. And I didn't believe in bundles. When Nectar started doing them, I said, it's BS, blah, blah, blah. And then Superstar, also known as Nicole Copeland, who was the sales manager at Happy Z's for years, she came to me and Krista Haney, and she's very frustrated. And she says, we've done everything that we can do. It's just by the time our customer gets around to being shown sheets, they're just tired. They're exhausted. And she decided to go a different direction. She decided, you know what? Let's have a starting bundle. Let's have a step up bundle, and let's have another bundle for the best bundle. And basically, they were offering these bundles to the customer. And the statement was very simple. Here's everything you need for your new bed. And we have a choice. And they would go into the choices very briefly. And all of a sudden, like almost overnight, their sheet sales did not double. Their sheet sales probably went up 5x, 5 times. Their protector, which was a good attachment rate, went up about 30%, which was shocking to me because I didn't think it could go much higher, but it did. And their pillow attachment went through the roof as well. And so I went to see their store on Friday, Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, to watch this because I was having a hard time believing that was the only thing that changed. But what I watched and what I saw with my own eyes a few years ago really changed my perspective on everything. Instead of the customer kind of gotten their hands on their hips and rolling their eyes and listening to another sales pitch after they had already bought the adjustable bed, after they had bought the pillow, after they had bought the protector, and now you're telling me I need an adjustable bed extended warranty, and I need sheets. Most of the time, the salesperson was so exhausted they didn't even get there. And when they did get there, the customer was exhausted. It just felt like they were at a car dealership. Like, okay, what else are you going to do to me? Right. That was kind of like, but when they offered the bundles, it was like, think about your favorite memory as a kid when you still believed in Santa Claus and you ran down and you were opening your presents at the Christmas tree. That was the feeling. The salespeople at Happy Z's were saying, yeah, you can pick out any pillow when they bought the best bundle. You can pick out any protector you want. I'll show them to you. Any set of sheets that you want, including the color that you want. And these people were just picking this stuff out like it was free. And it wasn't free. They were paying $9.99 for the best bundle. I think they were paying $5.99 or $7.99 for the other bundle. And I think the beginning bundle might have been $2.99 or $3.99. I'm probably getting that confused. But one thing was unmistakable, and that's this. That's a better customer experience. Selling bundles is a better customer experience for the customer. And by the way, if someone has seen a Dream Fit sheet or a Caroloa sheet somewhere, or they're intrigued by the packaging or the feel, a lot of times they're going to end up buying that better bundle to get what they want. And so don't think that it is putting a bullet in salesmanship. It's not. It's just a better way of doing it. Thank you, Anthony. Good, better, best. 100%. The battle for the bundle. You got to make sure as a rep. Good morning. Good morning, Anthony. Anthony D'Amato said, good morning, Pete. Chris is feeling a little lonely over here right now, Anthony. So you might want to give my producer a little love since he's the one pushing all the buttons.
I'm not feeling lonely at all. I'm soaking it up, man. I'm soaking up the knowledge.
So I would say bundling is the new frontier. And you as a rep need to find ways to be included in those bundles. And sometimes you might have to go to your company and get your company to do something they're a little uncomfortable doing. And by the way, just so that you guys know, we're not talking about preset bundles. This is kind of create your own bundle. They have samples of the bundles, and right behind the counter, and the customer can see that, but they have choices. They can pick their protector. The choices are unlimited at the top. In the middle, they're restricted, but there are some choices. And then at the very beginning, the basic bundle, it's pretty much, that's what you get. Okay. So yeah, I would say if you're a retailer and you're not bundling, you're missing it, and you need to start to bundle. And if you are a sales rep and you want to increase your essential sales, you need to win the battle for the bundle.
I think that should be the name of a show of some sort, right? The battle for the bundle. I mean, that's, or I don't know, like a video title or something. That's good stuff. All right, let's get to another question here as we're rounding third.
Wow.
This is from Learning in Missouri. Hi, Pete. I've only been in the furniture and mattress business for 8 years. I try to learn from as many people as possible. I keep hearing customer experience is important. Other than being nice and keeping my store clean, I'm not sure what else to do. Oh, this is an interesting question. We haven't had this before. How do I create this better customer experience that everyone is talking about? This is from Learning in Missouri.
I'm going to do my best, Learning in Missouri, to answer this, but I'm going to tell you right now, we've got 8 minutes left in the show. I'm not going to be able to answer this question in 8 minutes, but I'm going to tell you where you can go to get the answers. Grab this book, $20. It's my book, shameless plug. Brent Batterman, Maximizing the Guest Experience. For you, that the $20 for the whole book is going to be worth that one. And yes, Kristen says educate rather than sell. 100% right. 100% right. But I'm going to take it a step further. Educate. So I'm going to tell you guys something I told all my children. You live your life with your brain, and you live your life with your heart. And something I've told every salesperson that's ever worked for me, whether I was the VP of sales at White Dove or the VP of sales at Sutherland or running my own sales company, every salesperson I've ever worked with, your process has to be heart friendly. And don't ever get into this thing where you're one person in real life and you're another person as a salesperson. Those two need to be seamless. Those two, your customers are going to buy from you. At the end of the day, they can buy almost the same exact thing down the street. They're going to buy from the person who connects to them the most. And so you need to connect with with the other person the minute they walk into the store. And, Jeff talks about this. Brent Batterman talks about this. Scott Vaughn does a great job talking about this. Think about somebody coming in to your living room. How do you greet that person? You smile. You smile with your mouth, but you smile with your eyes. You smile with your heart. You're glad to see them. That should be the feeling. Forget about the words. That should be the feeling. Like you're coming into my home. Come on in. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you're here. Not, where's my phone?
Yeah. Not staring at
Not,
your phone.
I'm too busy to even look up and say hi to you. Not that. If you do that, shame on you. Get out of my business that I love. Seriously, I'm not kidding. I need you to care, and I need you to welcome them in like you're welcome them into your own home, and you're glad to see them.
Mm-hmm.
And you're even more glad to listen. 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen and ask better questions than the last guy that walked them right out of the store, or the last girl that walked them right out of the store. Listen, listen, and listen. And if you want to know a great sales trainer, they will have those follow-up questions. And it's really nothing more than playing Columbo. Sometimes acting a little confused and being really, truly interested in saying and oh, and making them talk, make them give you more information. That's a better customer experience. And yes, should your store be clean? Yes. And could your store have some personality? Like if you go to Jeff Giannakovo's store, that store has a lot of personality. It has a lot of Jeff in it. It has a lot of Ben in it. And now it really has a lot of Drew in it. It's really cool. It's a store unlike any other store. If you go into Joey Amato's store at Rock and Roll City Mattress in Cleveland, Ohio, anyone that hasn't been there, you should go there. They love rock and roll, and you can tell. And guess what? It works. It works really well for them, because you know what? If I can't close the sale, and we know that closing percentage, despite all of you saying it's 90%, it's not. It's 30% for mattresses. That's the real number in the industry. Can it be 90% if you do everything right? You can get close to that. And in some cases, maybe on a certain day, could you hit that number? Yeah, but no one's going to hit that number consistently. I call BS on anyone that says they consistently close 90%. That's just BS. But creating this customer experience, warm, happy, open, asking better questions. And yeah, if you want to theme your store, I mean, like Chris, I've been thinking about this. Like anybody that knows anything about this business, they know about rock and roll up in Cleveland, because they're putting up insane numbers. Like, you want to call Fooey on numbers? You wouldn't believe their numbers if I told you their numbers, but I wouldn't do that because they're confidential. But why doesn't somebody come up with a jazz themed store? Why doesn't somebody, like, down south, come up with a country theme store? Like, rock and roll shouldn't just be in Cleveland, Ohio. Rock and roll could be anywhere. How about Motown? A Motown themed store in Detroit. Rock on. Come on. Right? So don't be afraid to theme your store. Don't be afraid to do something different. Cleanliness is certainly important, and it's the basic place to start. But think about, how kind can I be? How much can I care? When you shop your competition, can you find places in the sales process where you can demonstrate to the customer that you care? Let me share one with you. So many people don't do this. It blows me away. If you take 5 minutes to show Mrs. Jones how to try a mattress, instead of laying there like a little soldier on her back, encourage her to try it on her side and show her, like you get on the bed and you show her how to try a mattress. If you do that, you have now just separated yourself from 90% of all the salespeople because they don't do it. It's a huge mistake. When I show somebody how to lay down on a mattress because I care about them getting the right mattress for themselves, what I'm really showing them is that I care. So
People will remember how you made them feel, right? And that's, if you keep that in mind, you know, like you can have mimosas and you can have free coffee, and you can have all of those kinds of things, but how are you making them feel, right? And I think that's huge.
Fawad does margaritas. Fawad at Exclusive Furniture, they do margaritas.
I think I'd remember how it made me feel if I had a few of those margaritas.
That's memorable. That's different. Yeah, Patrick,
the Lord of
I
Bancroft,
love that.
Canada's
Patrick
in here.
Tinney, 4-time author, soon to be 5-time author. And Patrick, you've got to come on the show and talk about your 5th book when you're ready to do that.
Well, Patrick's got an idea for a theme store, Pete.
Listen with your eyes. How about a Canadian theme store? Make it a beer theme. No, make it a cheese curd theme.
Come in and enjoy a Moosehead or a Molson, eh? And, you know, lay down on a mattress.
Every other word has
put on
to
a
be,
toque.
eh?
Put on
Eh?
a toque. Yes. Kristen Sugar, thank you for joining. She's got a training. She says this was great. Have a fabulous week. You have a fabulous week as well, Kristen.
You too,
Patrick,
Kristen.
I love that. I love this idea. You know, I mean, I'm you know, maybe a moose, you know.
Or hockey.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
About
And then like your
hockey,
sales would be like get a
moose,
hat trick, you know.
cheese and beer, all of them.
Like a triple bundle would be a hat trick, you know. I mean, come on. This is something. Yeah, a beaver, absolutely. A beaver should be in the mix.
I love
Absolutely.
it. Chris, we're out of time. Everybody, thank you for being here. What a treat today. You guys showed up in full force, and I am eternally grateful. And thank you, Chris, for doing all the work today.
My pleasure.
Thanks. Everybody, go forth and sell 1 million. And don't forget, have fun.